Hashem Yahushua bring a thumb to the brothers. Salam Yahushua thumb by Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. Where the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? Preaching Officer Shabal holding down the class tonight. This is the Las Vegas Thursday Scripture Breakdown class. You understand? Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we have classes from, Tuesday and Wednesday the classes are from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Thursday, due to my my schedule at the slavery, you understand, we'll be doing Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30. You understand? Pacific Standard Time. Slovakia. If y'all could, before we get started, you know I'm saying, if y'all can like and share the classes, Barbara Kashaw, like I ask y'all every week. You know I'm saying, not just the classes that are coming out of Las Vegas, but the classes that are coming out of Arizona, Connecticut, you know what I mean, New York, you know what I'm saying, Philly, DC, you know what I mean. It's our job as priests and prophets of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, to share these classes throughout the four corners of the earth, because we're not just in America. You understand? We're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? James 1:1 said to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. You understand? And so that's why we ask y'all if y'all would like and share the classes. You know what I mean? That scripture breakdown class that General Muhammad taught earlier was an excellent class. You know what I mean? And if we don't share these classes, you get what I'm saying? How will our people get an opportunity to learn from, you understand, General Muhammad or Captain Tazaryab? You know what I mean? Captain Shamar Walla. You get my point? So that's why, again, you know what I'm saying, before we start these classes, especially Thursday, because Thursday is a scripture breakdown class. And so that's why, you know what I'm saying, these are the all the classes that are taught in Israel are important, but the scripture breakdown classes, you know what I'm saying, are the classes, because that's when you can bring all your questions. You understand? You can bring all your, just any questions, anything pertaining to counsel. You know what I mean? Anything that you might need, you understand, you can come here. You understand? If there's any brothers and sisters in the Las Vegas area, you understand, that's looking for the class, you know what I'm saying, you can contact us on ISUPK Nevada on YouTube, and then ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook. You know what I mean? If you need a counsel, you know what I mean, you need a breakdown, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying, just reach out to us, you know what I'm saying, and we'll tighten you up, all right? In 2021, you understand, our identity is more important than ever before. If you look at the climate that we're in right now, you understand, if you look at the climate that we're in, you know what I'm saying, with Pride Month, you know what I mean, with 4th of July right around the corner, you understand, with this whole Africa thing, you get what I'm saying, with us loving the so-called white man or our oppressor, you know what I'm saying, with all these things going on, man, it's high time, man, that we learn who we are according to the Bible. You understand? Because if we knew who we were according to this Bible, you know what I mean, we would know one of the most important things that the Bible teaches us to do. And what's that? What's one of the most important things that the Bible teaches us that we should be? Anybody online? What's one of the most important things that the Bible teaches us? That's very true. And what else? What else does the Bible teach us to be?
To be a separate people.
That's it right there. To be separate. That's the first answer was correct. The second answer is what I was looking for. Why? Because, again, because we don't have our identity, and because of Christianity, because we don't have our identity, we're deep into Christianity. You get my point? And so because we're deep into Christianity, we believe that God loves everybody. You get what I'm saying? But with our identity, we'll know that this Bible is only talking to Israel. And with our identity and with the knowledge of this Bible, you get what I'm saying, we would know that the Most High told us to be separate. You get my point? And so that's why you understand, that's one of the important things that we can learn in this Bible, is that the Most High told us to be separate. You get what I'm saying? And Listen, I know. For those Christians, man, they don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Obedience to the Most High. That's correct as well. Brotherhood is correct as well. Everything that you guys said is correct. But the answer that I was looking for though is separation. Because in 2021, we're trying even harder to join ourselves to these other nations. That's why we go into all these pride parades and we're supporting all these different movements. The only movement that we're not supporting, the only movement that we're not showing up to in record numbers is any movement that is for blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. You get my point? That's what we should. That's where our allegiance should be. That's what we should be aligning with. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't give a damn about a 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't give a damn about Memorial Day. You get what I'm saying? We shouldn't care about anything that's happening with these other nations. We shouldn't care about Stop Asian Hate. That don't have anything to do with us. You get what I'm saying? If anything, we should be mad about Stop Asian Hate. Why should we be mad about Stop Asian Hate? Shaquan.
It's not black hate or anything like that.
That's exactly it. You understand? That's one of the many reasons, but that was the biggest reason I was looking. That was the best answer. You get what I'm saying? Because you have yet to hear one Asian come out and say, this hatred for black people needs to stop. This hatred for Hispanic people needs to stop. The mistreatment of the so-called Native Americans need to stop. What they're doing to those Haitians over there needs to stop. You get the point. You don't hear any of that. You want to know why? Because they're only concerned with their own. And the cold part about it is, they're not even the one, like we brought this out a couple weeks ago, they're not even the one that pushed the issue for a Stop Asian Hate bill. You know why? Because they know in order to stop all this so-called crimes that's being committed against these Asians, all they got to do is go to their own. Because they have one thing that we don't have. What is that? What do the Asians have that we don't have? Shaquat. That's true. That's very true. You're right. Think if I say that's kind of like a giveaway. You're right. They do have brotherhood amongst themselves. What else do they have? Think about the so-called Asians as a nation. So if the Asians are a nation, what do they have? You own it, Taza Ward. You right there. If they have a homeland, they have a what? And shalom to all the brothers and sisters watching online. Y'all by Shem Yahshua, a thumb to the brothers. Y'all Shema Allah thumb by Shem Yahshua to the sisters for checking in. You understand? Anybody online have any questions, go ahead and type them in. And Lord allow, I'll be able to answer your questions with these scriptures. And if not, I'll write it down and I'll have it for you by next week's class. Cedric Reynolds has the answer. You know what I'm saying? Let's give Cedric Reynolds a hand. You know what I'm saying? They have an army or a military. Either way, I you know what I'm saying? Either one was cool. But that's the answer I was looking for. You get my point? And not only do they have an army, but to Taza Ward's point, he said they have a homeland, which means what? Because the army was the number one answer I was looking for, or military. That was the number one answer I was looking for, right? But here's the thing about it is, the other thing that they have, which Taza Ward brought out, is they have a homeland, which means what? Shaquat. If they have a homeland, what does that mean?
They have another place to go.
That's it. That's it. They can leave America and just go home. You get my point? I'm sure they didn't make plenty of money out here. You understand? So they can take that money and go home. They'll come together, put all their resources together, and open up more Chinese food restaurants and factories or whatever else to create more microchips or tennis shoes or whatever it is that they're building that they got going on in America. They can just, you know what I'm saying? As they like to say when it comes to kids, they can just take their ball and go home. You get my point? And that's the thing. That's something that we don't have. You understand? So why would we be overly concerned with a Stop Asian Hate movement when we don't have nowhere to go? We have a homeland, but it was taken from us. You get what I'm saying? These are the things that we need to be paying attention to. If some shit go to the left, we don't have an army. But you piss off enough of them East Indians, and you know what they gonna do. You get my point? You piss off enough of these Japanese, you know what they gonna do. You see what I'm saying? You piss off enough of these Russians, you know what they're gonna do. You get my point? You piss off enough of us, and we're gonna get together in the streets and we're gonna hold hands. And we're gonna sing and march and cry and do what did General Muhammad talk about earlier? Praise worshiping or praise dancing, whatever it's called. That's what we're gonna do. You get my point? When our brothers get murdered in the streets, and I do mean murdered, Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. You understand? George Floyd was murdered. You understand? Atiana Jefferson was murdered. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get the point. We can spend all night just running off names of brothers and sisters that was murdered by the hands of the oppressor. That church that Dylan Storm Ruth shot up. You get my point? And in the midst of all that, what did we do? We just came together and held hands and we sung songs and we held signs in the streets. You get my point? And we got nothing done. Oh, Slocky, we did get something done. What did we get done? What did they do for all our pain and suffering? What did they do to help us? Anybody online? How did they ease our pain and suffering? With all the years of oppression, you understand, with all the murdering in the streets, with all the abortion clinics that they put on all these corners, with them legalizing prostitution in Las Vegas, with them legalizing marijuana all over the place, all the oppression, the depression, and the destruction of our nation, how did they look out for us? Man, the sister owned it. They gave us Juneteenth. That's how they say, you know what? Listen, man, I know y'all been going through the hell, man. I know we've been kicking y'all asses in these streets. We know we've been murdering y'all in these streets. We know that we got y'all living in the ghettos, in the barrios. We know we got y'all living on these reservations. But we're going to fix that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to help y'all out, man. You know what we're going to do for y'all? We're going to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. And you know what's so sad about that? What's sad about that, Shaquat? There's no wrong answer, but it's one answer that I'm looking for specifically. But what's so wrong with that, though?
Why now? Wow.
That's one.
Really, why now? Since that was what? How many years ago? A couple hundred years ago?
That's one. Cedric Reynolds, overall, your point is correct. You're right. They didn't do anything, but in their minds, they did. You get my point? But what's the problem with that, though? That's true. What I was looking for is this. The thing about it is, what's sad about that is they made Juneteenth a federal holiday, right? Oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. That's true. We were already celebrating Ahmaud, but it's even deeper than that, though. It's deeper than us celebrating. It's deeper than us celebrating Juneteenth. That's a very good point. It's for everyone now. Man, listen. Cedric Reynolds, you right. It is for everybody now. You get what I'm saying? That's a good point. You know what I'm saying? But y'all right there, but y'all not bringing me home. It's something that I'm looking for. That's them admitting guilt. That's true as well. It's share all nations do benefit. Everything that y'all saying is correct. Everything that y'all saying is correct. I'm gonna give it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? What's so sad about that is we looked at that as a victory. That's what's sad about Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday. We now look at Biden and Harris as heroes. Even though we had looked at them like heroes already because of Trump no longer being in office and Harris being black, we looked at them as heroes off top. And then we got some more stimulus money. So we really looked at them as heroes. And now under their watch, Juneteenth became a federal holiday. So we won. Yes, we got it. We did it, y'all. That's what all this marching in the streets did for us. You understand? This is why we got our asses beat in the streets. This is why we had dogs ticked on us. This is why we got sprayed down with water hoses. This is why Rodney King got beat up for, I believe it was 81 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. This is why I believe I think you pronounce her name Latasha Harkins was shot in the head by that Asian lady in the liquor store back in LA years ago. We went through all that so that our oppressor can make Juneteenth a federal holiday. Let's celebrate. We've been getting our asses whooped under this oppressor for so long that we celebrate the simplest things. When in all actuality, we should have really looked at that as a slap in the face. In all actuality, why? Why should that have been looked at as a slap in the face? We were celebrating our monobox, but we wasn't getting paid for it. But you're right, yeah, we were celebrating it, you know what I'm saying? But now, if I'm not mistaken, if I understand it right, it being a federal holiday means you get the day off now. Or if you do have to slave, you get holiday pay because it's a federal holiday. You get what I'm saying? Iraq said we still ain't free. Listen, that is an excellent point, Iraq. You right about that. We're still not free. And we weren't free in 1865 when that so-called bill was passed. But the reason why we shouldn't look at that as a victory, the reason why we shouldn't be so happy about it, the reason why we should look at it as a reason to throw more parties in to call them heroes is because they have not, nor will they do anything about the crime that's being committed against the Lord's chosen people. This is why Juneteenth, or at Juneteenth being passed as a federal holiday, should not be looked at as a reason to celebrate. Because we still getting locked up in mass numbers. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that some of these brothers that are getting locked up or some of these sisters that are getting locked up are innocent. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is they're getting numbers thrown at them that they shouldn't be getting thrown at them. What I am saying is you got brothers that's locked up for weed cases, and I'm not saying that selling weed is cool. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is you got dudes that's been locked up for years for old weed cases, and yet weed is legal now. You get my point? So if you just pick up what I'm laying down real quick and just understand that for a second, how can we look at these oppressors as heroes when you still got black men and black women locked up by the ton? When is that going to become a real thing? You're celebrating Juneteenth because Juneteenth is now a national holiday or a federal holiday. Meanwhile, college athletes still ain't getting paid. And they going out there on the football field and they breaking their bodies. For what, a scholarship? But yet, up until recently, if you tried to sell a jersey on your own, you were in NCAA violations and you would get suspended and you could possibly lose your eligibility. I remember a few years ago, some of the Ohio State football players, it's like they traded gear for tattoos. You get my point? Now, I'm not saying tattoos are lawful, but the point I'm trying to make is they traded their gear for tattoos. Now let's think about that for a second. What's the problem with that? Let's think about that for a second, because let's unpack this for a second. You right, Armando Boff. And Cedric Reynolds, you right again. Hypocrisy. Everything that y'all saying is 100% on point. So now let me ask y'all this, right? Let's just take away for a second, right? And I'm not saying this is law. Just hear what I'm saying. Let's just take away for a second that tattoos are unlawful. Let's just take that away for a second. And just hear what I'm saying. These college athletes, in order to get these tattoos, they traded off gear, whether it was jerseys, whether it was cleats, whether it was sweatsuits that only the football players could get, whatever the case may be. These are the Ohio State football players, right? In order to get them tattoos, they traded off gear. What's the problem with that? Think about it on a larger scale. These are college athletes who was playing at Ohio State University, or like the way they like to say it, the Ohio State University. So they're playing at the Ohio State University. which for those who know a little bit about college football knows that Ohio State is a constant national championship contender, which means what? They're one of the best teams in the nation year in and year out. I'll give y'all a hint. Think about the fact that we just got done talking about how Juneteenth is now considered a federal holiday and we're celebrating it, right? And you look at the fact that college athletes, in order to get tattoos, they had to trade gear. Taz of War, that's it right there. That's it. And then the sister Malawanya, both of you guys, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's go with Taz of War. So he said they own the jersey and the person wearing it. Now bring me home. Think about what he just said. He said they own the jersey and the person wearing it. The sister goes a step further by saying they're starving students at a college that has tons of money, so they didn't have the funds, so they had to trade gear for tattoos. The sister just nailed it. In the sports metaphor reference, she just hit a grand slam, because that's exactly the point. We're celebrating Juneteenth because it's now a federal holiday, and we're acting like we just won because Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. Meanwhile, these college athletes that's playing on TV in front of millions of people and making these universities millions of dollars had to trade their gear to get some tattoos. Why? Because they don't have the money to buy the tattoos. So if they playing college sports on the highest level possible and they have to trade their gear for tattoos, what does that say about the college athletes? That's true, but bring me home. If they don't have anything, they're what? And if they're poor, they're what? Bring me home. What you're saying is right, but bring me home. That's it right there. You and Iraq said that at the same time. He said they're enslaved. You said they're oppressed. Same thing. So, why is any of this that I just brought out right now, why is any of that relevant? You're right, Senator Reynolds and Senator Malawanya, they're property of the school. They are nothing to them. Everything that y'all saying is correct. They're oppressed. Everything y'all saying is absolutely correct. Why did I use that as an example? What point am I trying to prove? What point am I trying to make right now? Think about everything that we just talked about, and y'all tell me what is the point in me using Ohio State as an example. Squad.
I want to say because even if you make it to a college, a big college, and you make it to the football team, your first string don't matter. You can still get oppressed no matter what you're doing.
That's it right there. That's absolutely correct. Why is that important? Because Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. Y'all picking up what I'm laying down? Look, that's it right there. Amanaba said the slave plantation is still in effect and they're on it. That's now, see, y'all picking up what I'm laying down. Y'all understand exactly the point that I'm trying to make. That Juneteenth is no victory at all. That's the point that I'm trying to make, to Taza Ward's point. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. Right? That was Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. Meanwhile, we're still slaves on the plantation. And now there's certain colleges or certain states who are allowing college athletes to make money off their names and their likeness. They call it the NIL, name and likeness. I forget what the I stand for, but it's name and likeness. You get my point? And I'm not sure if that's across the board. I'd have to double check if it's across the board for all NCAA or if it's just for certain states or certain schools. But what's the problem with that though? What is it that the oppressor is doing in his deception? Because what he's doing is what I would call trickeration. It's the so-called white man still being the most subtle beast in the field. Anybody online, tell me why that by them allowing these athletes to make money off their name and off their name, image, and likeness. That's what NIL stands for. Their name, because Ed O'Bannon years ago tried to sue the NCAA because they was making video games, and instead of putting their name on the back of the jersey, they wouldn't put their names on the jersey. So then that way, it's just UCLA 31, which could have been me or you, even though we know it's really Ed O'Bannon. You get my point? So now, how is it that the so-called white man or our oppressor is being so goddamn subtle by allowing certain college athletes, or let's just say, because I'm not 100% for sure, but let's just say for the sake of this conversation, if anybody online want to look it up and type it in the chat, if it's a NCAA thing or if it's just in certain states, if NIL is across the board, right? But for the sake of this conversation, let's just say it is, right? How is that the oppressor still being the most subtle beast in the field? Taz of War, you own it by saying they're giving a facade of freedom. You're right, but that's not what I'm looking for. How is the so-called white man still showing his subtlety and showing you what kind of beast he really is and showing you the kind of snake that he really is? Ginger ale, man. I'm not going to tell y'all the brand because they're not going to pay me for it. So I'm not going to tell y'all the brand, but the water for always keeping the ginger ale on deck. Amanabak, you're right there. The last statement that you made is right there. It does keep them asleep. You're right. You're right about that. No doubt about it. It does keep us asleep. We look at that as a victory. And you say, and the oppressor is still making all the money. Bring me home, though. Somebody bring me home. The sister's right there. I can see the finish line, Amanabak, but bring me home, though. You're right, but how are they being deceptive though, Cedric Reynolds? What is the deception? It's something that it's a sleeping pill. The NIL is a sleeping pill. That's what it is. Allowing them to make money off their name, image, and likeness, although it's cool, but it's a sleeping pill. I'm gonna see if anybody online can give me the answer. Let me see if y'all get it. If y'all get it, I'll be highly impressed. But it's something else behind it. I'm on about you right there. Not quite. Why am I saying that the NIL is a sleeping pill? You own it, Iraq, but not quite. You right there. Sister Aaliyah, you right there as well. Y'all all in the ballpark. Y'all right there. Because it is to college athletes, they do look at this as a small victory. But why is it a sleeping pill though? Yeah, a couple more seconds, I'm gonna give y'all the answer. And if I give y'all the answer, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna be like, damn, because it's right there. And everything that y'all saying is right there. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more seconds. But it's Iraq, bring me home. Bring me home, Iraq, because they still don't own themselves. You're right about that. But bring me home, though. Because nothing has changed. I'm talking about like you could damn near, you could stick your arm out and touch the finish line. You so close. She said because nothing has changed. That's the hint right there, because nothing has changed. So if I'm saying the NIL is a sleeping pill, I'm not about to say that nothing has changed. I'm saying that the so-called white man or the oppressor is using this as a sleeping pill, and he's using this as a tool of deception. How do you sum all that up? Iraq, if they're still slaves, what does that mean? You're right, but what does that mean, though? If they're still slaves, what does that mean? Somebody give it to me, man. I'm really trying not to give y'all the answer because all y'all are saying it without saying it. Shit, quiet.
That being the sleeping pill for them, would it be because they still gain more of a profit than from all of that?
You right there, man. You right there. Damn, y'all right there, man. The black man is the product that is being sold. She's talking about sold. You're right. Bring me home, though. I think I'm gonna have to give it to y'all. Now y'all gonna be like, damn, because it's everything that y'all saying is correct, but y'all not hammering home the point because it's something specific that I want everybody to see. And you're right, Cedric Reynolds. The NIL. That's why we're calling it a sleeping pill because it's keeping these athletes asleep. But why are they still? How is that keeping them asleep? What's the bigger picture? What is the bigger picture? What's bigger than the NIL? How about that? Let me give it to y'all like that. That's true too. But them being in the world and being Christians will keep them from obeying the Most High, Tyler Ward. Think about it like this, right? If nothing has changed, if they're still slaves, if the black man is the product that is being sold, Amanaba said the oppressor's bank account. You're right. I'm gonna have to give it to y'all because nobody's giving me exactly what it is I'm looking for. But Amanaba is right there by saying the oppressor's bank account. The oppressor's bank account is the hint. Somebody bring me home. The oppressor's bank account is the hint. That's the clue that you need. Somebody bring me home. Oh, you're definitely right about that. The oppressor is still a slave master. You're right. Man, I really don't want to have to get this to y'all. You probably as close as it's gonna get. You and Amanaba. Amanaba said the oppressor's bank account, and she's correct. Iraq said they're still getting rich off of us. You guys are saying it, but y'all not bringing me home, so I'm gonna give it to y'all. The reason why the NIL is a sleeping pill is because you're allowing them to get paid off their name, their image, and their likeness, which that's not even something that they should be happy about because why the fuck should you be giving me permission to get paid off my own fucking name in the first place? That's the first thing we should be looking at. You get my point? And you're right. They did the NIL to keep us complacent. You're right. Everything that y'all said is correct. They still own the players. All that's correct. The reason why we should not be celebrating, we should be like, all right, that's cool, man. We're gonna be able to get some money off of our name. The reason why we shouldn't celebrate that though is because why wasn't we getting money off our name in the first goddamn place? This is my name. This is my image. This is my likeness. So this isn't something that we should be celebrating. This is something that we should be saying. It's about goddamn time. What the fuck took y'all so long? This is what we should be saying. But the biggest thing and the reason why I'm calling this a sleeping pill and the reason why I'm saying this is the so-called white man or the oppressor being subtle and being deceptive and deviant is because he allowed them to get money off their NIL, but he's still not paying them for breaking their bodies on the goddamn field. That's what I wanted y'all to say. And so all y'all said about by them still being asleep and by them being complacent and about all these things, you guys are correct. How they sleep? Because they're so focused on being able to get money off their name, image, and likeness that they're no longer tripping off the fact that, man, we still making these universities millions of dollars and we can't even get a cut. Because I guarantee they're not going to make nowhere near as much money off that NIL as they would off that cut that they would get from putting a product on the goddamn field. Somebody online, do me a favor and go online and look up how much money Ohio State's football team made last year and type it in the chat for me, please. And this will drive home the point. So y'all, once we get these numbers, you'll understand why that NIL ain't shit. Somebody, please do me a favor, ASAP, if you could, type into the chat how much money Ohio State's football team. We ain't even talking about basketball, baseball, track and field. We're not talking about none of that. Somebody type in the chat how much money Ohio State's football team made last year, please. Everything that y'all said was correct, though. But it's something even bigger, though. You sum all that up by saying they loved us to sleep with the NIL, no different than they loved us to sleep with the Juneteenth federal holiday. Why? We're focusing on Juneteenth being a federal holiday. We forgot about the Stop Asian Hate bill. We forgot that after 400 plus years of oppression, we still don't have a Stop Black Hate bill. They're all sleeping pills. You get what I'm saying? This is why the Bible called the so-called white man the most subtle beast of the field. Because when he's doing this, he's saying, hey, look over there. And everybody's running over there. Meanwhile, he's doing all the shit over here. You picking up what I'm laying down? Everybody understand? Hey, the water, brother, I appreciate it. $57 million is what Ohio State's football team made. We ain't even talking about the other sports. We're talking about the Ohio State football team who, because of COVID, didn't even play a full season. Somebody else, please do me a favor. How many games did Ohio State play last year? Ohio State football team, how many games did they play last year? Wow. Hey, the Water Times of War, between 2019 and 2020, from athletics, they made $228 million. So based on these numbers, now does everybody understand why I'm saying the NIL ain't nothing but a sleeping pill and why the so-called white man is the most subtle beast in the field? He's still not paying these dudes. They're getting money off their name. But you know who's getting the most money? Ohio State is. The University of Michigan. They're getting the money. You get my point? Georgetown, when it comes to basketball, because they're not as big in football. But if you want to talk about football, you got Ohio State, you got Alabama, you got Florida. What's another powerhouse school, college football school? Texas A&M, Nebraska then kind of fell on some hard times, but they still kind of up there. USC, Stanford. Y'all get the point. The bottom line is, if we spent this class researching how much money these universities made off of football alone, it'll blow your goddamn mind. Times of War just said between 2019 and 2020, they made 20 and 28 million. And this is just Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. You get my point? But you gonna throw them this little bone. Oh yeah, y'all can get money off your NIL. Yeah, go ahead. We're allowing you to make money off of your own name. We don't even see how much of an oppressor the oppressor is being just by doing that. If you just think about that for a second, I'm allowing you to make money off of your name. Think about that for a second. These are all sleeping pills, man. These are all ways to continue to keep us asleep. You get my point? It's just one big ass sleeping pill from Juneteenth to NIL to Black Lives Matter, all these different things. Because you know what hasn't changed in the midst of NIL, Juneteenth, and Black Lives Matter, and all these different parades and marches and hand in hand. You know what hasn't stopped in the midst of all this? Anybody online, what hasn't changed?
The way they treat us?
Yes. Yes. The killing of it. There it is. Y'all absolutely correct. They played 8 games last year. So let me go back to that. So what y'all said is correct. The killing of us. Like you said, the way they treat us. With all these movements, Black Lives Matter and Juneteenth and all that stuff, they're still treating us like shit. They're still treating us like fifth-class citizens. You get my point? So Cedric Reynolds typed in 8 games. So let's go with that because I know they didn't play a full schedule. That's why I asked for somebody to type in how many games Ohio State's football team played last year because it wasn't a full schedule. So let's just go with 8. So what you're telling me is they made $57 million in 8 games. Meanwhile, the players get a scholarship. You get what I'm saying? And before this whole NIL thing, if you got caught selling your jersey, you got caught signing autographs or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? You were in NCAA violation. Meanwhile, the coach who doesn't put his body on the line at all makes millions of dollars. I believe Nick Saban, the coach at Alabama, I believe he makes at least $7 million per year as the coach. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all think about that for a second, this is why Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday does not matter. And any holiday that they give us will never matter. Because as long as you continue to treat our college athletes, our brothers, like cattle, and not even college athletes, but even if you go to the NBA, even if you take it to the NBA, right? If you take it to the NBA, it's no different. Are they making money? Yeah, they are. But like we brought up a couple weeks ago, if you can pay Stephen Curry $200 million, and this is just one player, you're giving him $200 million, how much money do you think the owner's making if he can afford to pay one player $200 million? Right? Let's take it a step further. Let Stephen Curry say something about the Jewish man. Why am I saying that? Because he's still a slave. $200 million in all. He's still a slave. It's a reason why LeBron James picks his spots. There's a reason why even when he says something, he doesn't say anything. Even when he does say something. You get my point? Exactly, Taz of War. 8 games, $56 million for 8 games equals $7 million a game. But guess what? You can make money off your own name. There you go. Think about it, man. And that's why the scripture that we were going over last week, how long will you simple ones love simplicity? You get what I'm saying? And so with that, man, if anybody has any questions or comments on this particular topic, you can go ahead and type them in. If not, if you have any questions or comments that are off topic, go ahead and type them in now. You can raise your hand in the class if you have any questions about anything. We'll go over it. If not, I'm gonna go into a topic. Right? I have a topic prepared for tonight, which goes over persecution and obedience. Is what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna spend the last hour of class talking about persecution and obedience. And I said, for those who are just tuning in, you know, this is ISUPK Las Vegas Scripture Breakdown class. And I said we have classes in Las Vegas every Tuesday and Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. But on Thursdays, they're from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. West Coast time. You understand? We started 30 minutes early and we're ending 30 minutes early. You know what I'm saying? Because I got another slavery, and they got me coming in at night. So when I leave here, I'm going straight to the plantation. So for those who think that Juneteenth freed us, I gotta start the class early and end the class early so I can go to the plantation. That's just another example right there, if I could. Just another small example I thought I'd throw out there real quick. You get my point? I'm sure. Listen, I'm on about. You're probably 100% correct. I haven't even looked into it because when I got the notification, I was disgusted by it. I didn't even want to know no more about it because it ain't nothing. What she said was, if I understand it, they are still very limited to how much they can make on the NIL. So in other words, you're only allowed to make so much money off your name, off of your image, and off of your likeness. But hey, Juneteenth is a federal holiday now. Hooray. You get my point? So this is where we are in America. You understand? Every chance they get, they're going to remind you that you're nothing more but a 2-bit slave in their minds. But according to this book right here, we're more precious than fine gold. You want to know why? Because the Most High says so. If the Most High says so, goddamn it, that's what it is. To hell with the so-called white man. To hell with the Asians, these Indians, to hell with all of them. You understand? The Most High is about His people and His people only. You get my point? So if there's no other questions or comments on that topic, if no one has any questions off the topic, we're gonna go ahead and get into tonight's overall topic. That was more so of a pre-topic. All right. Yeah, man. That's how the world you bring it out, man, is nothing but facts. You know what I'm saying? What you bringing out is nothing but facts. So I don't see any questions or any other comments. So we're gonna go ahead and get into tonight's topic. And tonight's topic is just preparing and dealing with persecution and being obedient in the midst of the persecution. You get my point? And we're gonna start in the Apocrypha. We're gonna go to Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter. This is one of my favorite topics. You know what I mean? I've taught this class before. It's been a while since I taught this class, but this is one of my favorite classes, man. And this is a class that I'll probably teach. Not, I'm not gonna say all the time. It's like, but I'll probably teach it like probably a little bit more often for those brothers and sisters who are brand new into the truth, or for a brother who just became a trooper, or for a sister who just got her Hebrew name. All right, and so this right here, this is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, and chapter 2, and we're gonna start at verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1.
Shoot it.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
if you do what?
If thou come to serve the Lord,
if you do what?
If thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Do what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for temptation, man. What is the Most High doing right now? What is He giving you?
Letting you know, like, this is what you want to be about. You gotta be willing to go through all these trials and tribulations.
Exactly. You get my point? And the other thing He's doing is He's giving you a warning. He's giving you a heads up. He's putting you up on game. You know what I'm saying? He's lacing you ahead of time. If you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. That's right, I rock a warning, right? Everybody's correct, a warning, right? So now, first question, where does the temptation come from? Where does the temptation come from? Where does temptation come from? Anybody online? Where does temptation come from? The scriptures say, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Where does that temptation come from? Perfect answer. Cedric Reynolds, you own it. The mind. That's where the temptation comes from. You get my point? The lust of your flesh. You understand? Both of y'all are correct. Worldly lust. Everything, y'all own it. Everything that y'all saying is correct. Right? Now, somebody give me some examples of your mind tempting you. How can your mind tempt you with what exactly? Somebody give me some examples. Shaquat.
I want to smoke that weed.
That's an excellent answer. Smoking weed. That's one temptation. It's just one blunt. You by yourself. You in the car. How would you? Ain't nobody gonna see me. I'm on my way to the plantation, and they don't drug test at my slavery. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit this blunt one time. You get my point? I'm gonna go ahead and smoke this cigarette real quick. You get what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna go ahead and smoke this Black and Mild, whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and smoke this because I'm in the car by my own self and can't nobody see me. You get what I'm saying? What's another example? Drugs. The brother said drugs, right? Shaquat. Homosexuality, right? Sex is another one. You know what I'm saying? Sex with, like you said, homosexuality. Sleeping with other nations. You get my point? Sleeping with another man's woman. You get my point? Having frivolous sex. Everything that y'all saying is correct. These are the temptations that are gonna come your way. You get what I'm saying? I give you an example, right? So now at my slavery, I work at a nightclub, right? I work at a club inside a casino. Y'all think about Las Vegas. Y'all think about the casino. Y'all think about the club. If y'all just lock in on that for a second, then y'all already understand where I'm going. The temptation is all around you. You get my point? They're smoking in the casinos, right? And you got half-naked women going in and out the club all night long. You get what I'm saying? That's a if you're coming in, if you're brand new coming into the truth, that right there is a temptation in itself. You get what I'm saying? To pick up some unlawful food. That's a good answer as well, sis. Unlawful foods is a temptation as well. Some of y'all have a hard time putting down the bacon. Yeah, you're right about that, sis. I'll talk about that later. You know what I mean? That's a conversation for another time. But you're absolutely right. Since I work in a cesspool, you are 1,000% correct, and I'm gonna be going to that cesspool in about an hour or so. So you're correct. But the sister said unlawful foods. Some of y'all can't put down that bacon. And I understand how it can be tempting to you because you can't drive down the street and you can't turn on your TV without seeing a commercial about somebody's new cheeseburger with bacon on it, or some kind of new sandwich with bacon on it, or some kind of buy one, get one free on crab or lobster or anything that's unlawful. Those are all temptations, right? So I wanted to pick up some extra hours, right? Holiday, that's another 4th of July is right around the corner. You know what? I ain't even gonna talk about. I ain't gonna use that example I was gonna use for right now. I'm gonna talk about that. The sister said holidays. She's absolutely correct. And why is that so important? Because 4th of July is about a week from now, week and a half, something like that. It's right around the corner. And for those who are brand new to the truth, that's used to going over their uncle's house and used to going over their auntie's house for 4th of July, this year you won't be going. I'm gonna get into that in a second, Cedric Reynolds. You're right. That was where I was getting ready to go before the sister typed in holidays. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tackle that first. For those who are used to going over their folks' house for 4th of July, now you coming into the truth. Now you find out that these holidays, you know what I'm saying, are against the Most High. And so now you're like, damn, man, like, what my family gonna say? What is my wife gonna say? What are my kids gonna say that's used to popping fireworks, you know what I'm saying, on the 4th of July? They used to us going, you know what I'm saying, to these different cities and buying all these illegal fireworks. This is what they're used to. They used to eating them pork ribs and them hot dogs and these hot links. You know what I'm saying? And when I say hot dogs and hot links, I'm talking about the pork ones. We all know that there's beef, the hot dogs and beef links and turkey and all that stuff. I'm talking about on the 4th of July. You get my point? When you go to somebody's house for a 4th of July event, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be pork aplenty. You get what I'm saying? And so you've been doing this your whole life, and now it's like, I'm trying to come into the truth. I'm fighting to come into the truth. I'm fighting to change my life, man. I'm not strong enough to be in that environment. So I'm not going to go. The temptation is, man, let this be your last one, man. Listen, man, we got some fireworks that you ain't never even seen before. Oh, man, we going to have so-and-so on the grill. You know how he get down on the grill. Can't nobody fuck with him on the grill. You get my point, man. You can't miss out on this. You get what I'm saying? Or you might have your woman say, but what about the kids? They love fireworks, and they, you know, you've been taking them to this for years, and now you're going to stop just like that. How you going to do me? How you going to do us like that? I thought you loved your kids. Just little shit like that. That's temptation, though. You get my point? And so holidays is an excellent answer. The brother said making money the wrong way. You get what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I was going to go into, right? So I went to pick up some extra hours at my slavery, and so I had worked at the Wet Republic. For those who are not from Vegas, Wet Republic is a big ass pool or multiple pools inside the MGM, right? And so where they had me in the VIP section, checking bags and checking wallets, checking purses for drugs or anything that's not allowed inside the pool, right? So in the midst of this, I'm seeing IDs, I'm seeing credit cards, and I'm seeing loads of money. Loads of money. I'm talking about like thousands of dollars in certain cases. Now, why you bring that much money to the pool, I have no idea. Maybe you just got it like that and you just doing it real grande. I don't know. Me, myself, I ain't doing it. You get what I'm saying? I'm finna go get in this pool and lose my goddamn mind. You get what I'm saying? Like, these cats literally had their wallets on them. No shirt on, but they had the swimming trunks with the wallet in their pocket with thousands of dollars in it. How do I know? Because I'm checking the wallet to make sure they ain't trying to bring in no drugs or nothing like that. You get my point? Why am I using that as an example? Because the temptation is all that goddamn money that's right there in my face. Would I have been able to take it right then and there? No. But if I was in the world, all it takes is a phone call. Hey man, listen, I know where this dude is staying at. This cat got money. You know what I'm saying? We can go hit him later on the night or whatever. I know what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? We can just follow him around the casino. Once he leaves, man, we can rob his ass. You get my point? But Barakatah Yahweh Shai, that I've been in this truth for a long enough time to where things like that is not, it's like, damn, is what it does more than anything is it frustrates me. It angers me. Why? Because these heathens are living free, and they just got all this money and able to do what they want, when they want, how they want. You get my point? And meanwhile, you understand, we struggling to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? We struggling to pay the rent. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I want to be heathen, or I want to be on the same level as a heathen, or none of that. You get my point? What I am saying is, we shouldn't be at the bottom the way we are. We shouldn't be getting 3-day notices on our doors. You get what I'm saying? They pay us just enough to continue to struggle, though. You get what I'm saying? They make it to where, like the brother said, making money the wrong way. They pay the way they do, hoping that you will go out and make money the wrong way, so in that way they can lock you up, so they can make more money off of you. You get what I'm saying? Hey, and listen, sis, you're absolutely right. And this is why you understand, brothers and sisters in the UPK stand strong and stand tall in this truth. Because we know that if we obey the Most High and we stay loyal to the Most High and we keep these law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High will look out for us in a way that our oppressor can and never will look out for us. You get my point? Nothing that the oppressor can give us will equal to what the Most High has in store for us. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep reading.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Let's start at the top. Read it again, please. Verse 2.
Set thy heart aright.
Do what?
Set thy heart aright.
And do what?
And constantly endure.
Set thy heart aright. What is that telling you right there? What does that mean? How would you say that in nigga terms? What's the nigga way of saying set thy heart aright? Shaquat. That's it. There's a lot of different nigga ways you can say that, but that's the nigga way I was looking for. Get your mind right. Now, ain't that what we say? Get your mind right. What's another thing we say? Nigga, get your head in the game. Nigga, you slipping. You get my point? But get your mind right. What else does it say?
Constantly endure.
And do what?
Constantly endure.
And do what?
Constantly endure.
And constantly endure. And what does that mean? What does it mean to constantly endure? What does that mean?
Basically, just whatever comes your way, just keep pushing forward.
That's it. That's it, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting, right? Think of, okay, for those video game heads, right? Think about those. There you go. That's some nigga shit right there too. Don't be no punk. Get your mind right. You understand? No coward, nigga. Right? So right, stay strong. You get what I'm saying? It says and constantly endure, right? So now on a much lower level for you video game heads, right? Y'all went out and y'all bought that new Mortal Kombat, right? And because y'all think y'all real good at Mortal Kombat, y'all put on the hardest level on the game, right? And y'all put on the hardest level on the game, and y'all getting y'all asses kicked. Every time y'all go out there, y'all getting at y'all playing with Sub-Zero, y'all getting y'all ass whooped by Scorpion or Liu Kang or Johnny Cage or one of them cats. You get my point? Constantly getting y'all ass whooped, right? But you keep playing. And why do you keep playing? Because your goal is to do what?
Get better.
Get better, but not only that, but what ends up happening though? As you keep playing, what else ends up happening as you keep playing though? That's why I said on a smaller level. On a small, this is a small. It's just an excuse. I mean, not excuse. I meant to say example. Win, right? Say the run. That's it. Every Malawani, you're right. Win. You keep playing because you're trying to win, right? You keep fighting is the word that I was ultimately looking for, though. But y'all right. Y'all keep playing because y'all trying to win. You get what I'm saying? But ultimately, you keep playing. In the midst you still playing, you're still fighting. Now you're not physically fighting yourself, but as Sub-Zero, you gotta fight Johnny Cage and all them other characters because you're trying to get to the last dude, which I believe. Well, when I used to play Mortal Kombat, Raiden was the last dude. I don't know about that. I ain't played Mortal Kombat in a long time, but Raiden was the dude at the end. Or was it Raiden? No, it was the big.
Shao Kahn.
That's him, right? But my point is, you keep fighting. You lose, you start over again. You know what I'm saying? You beat the first dude, you beat the second dude, you lose to the third dude, now you gotta start all over again. Because you're trying to get to the 12th dude. Let's just say a 12 dude. You get to the 12th dude. You lose, now you gotta start all the way over from the beginning. But you do it. You wanna know why? Because you're trying to win the game. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get whatever trophy or whatever end is to the game. You want to see what it look like. And then you're trying to win. It's no different with being in this truth. Get your mind right and prepare yourself for the temptation. Prepare yourself to constantly endure, which means what? To constantly fight. This is what the scripture is telling you, man. Read the rest of that.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And do what?
And make not haste in time of trouble.
What does that mean, to make not haste in time of trouble? What does that mean? Shaquat.
Don't be quick to anger, really. Don't be quick to do something stupid.
That's it. That's it. You were right with the first part, but what I was looking for was that second part. Don't make a stupid decision because things is going bad. You know what I'm saying? Rent is a few days away, man. I may as well just go ahead and break out the ski mask and gloves again. I gotta go out here and go do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me wipe this pistol. Let me wipe this pistol down. You know what I'm saying? Let me go and oil this thing up so I can go ahead and do my thing. You get my point? Let me get ready to go put this work in. You get what I'm saying? Like, nah. Don't, you know what I'm saying? It says, make not haste in time of trouble. So when shit get hard, don't do nothing stupid. You get my point? Don't go back on the block. You get what I'm saying? The brother said, don't run. Exactly. Don't run. Don't make a terrible decision. Don't run. Don't say, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna run back to getting high. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back out here. I'm gonna start back pimping again. I'm gonna start back drug dealing again, whatever the case may be. Hey, Shalom, sis. How you doing? You get my point? These are the things that you want to keep in mind. This is what the scripture says. This ain't me talking. This, you know what I'm saying? This is the Most High talking. It says, make not haste in time of trouble. In other words, okay, biblically speaking, if you made haste in time of trouble, or if you made a decision in the midst of things being rough for you, what kind of decision would that be considered biblically? Don't be what? One word I'm looking for. Don't be what? Most High in Christ, it's good to have you in the class. Don't be what? It says, make not haste in time of trouble. Meaning what? Don't do what? But yeah, a couple more seconds for time's sake. I'm gonna have to give it to y'all because this might end up turning into a 2-part class. Cause I spent a lot of time on my pre-topic, but we'll definitely pick this up next week because this is a very important topic. This is a very heavy topic. Don't be discouraged. You're correct. You're correct, but not the answer I'm looking for. Don't faint. That's true as well. Everything y'all said is correct. Don't be quick to act without thinking. Okay, all right. Bring me home though. If you're being quick to act without thinking, what would that be considered? Times the word said foolish and ignorant. You're right. Now, what is the biblical word that's used? Don't be what? Times of war in Iraq, y'all own it. Don't be quick to act without thinking. That's it right there. Iraq hit it. Don't be emotional. You understand? Bragatha Yahweh Yahweh Shah, my cousin is in the chat, man. My cousin Leroy. Hey, Shalom, man. Hey, good to see you in the chat, man. Most High in Christ. That's what's happening, man. Good to see you. But yeah, foolish is correct as well. You know what I'm saying? Leroy said, he said foolish. Don't be foolish. And being foolish means you're being emotional, which means you're making an emotional decision. You're making a decision based on your emotions. So when the scripture says, and make not haste in time of trouble, don't be emotional when shit go to the left. Don't be foolish when shit go to the left. Amanabah said as well, don't be double-minded. Well, I want to serve the Lord. I want to do the right thing, but I know about this lick, and I know I can get, you know what I'm saying, stupid bread off of it. Don't be double-minded. You get what I'm saying? Nobody said that serving the Lord was going to be easy. You get what I'm saying? Nobody said that it was going to be just smooth and everything was going to be perfect because you serve the Lord. Things weren't perfect when you was in the world. So why, when you was in the world, when you was in all these different religions, so why would things be perfect now? You get what I'm saying? Life is all about doing what? What is life all about? Following the law, statutes, and commandments. And if you're following the law, statutes, and commandments, you're doing what? For time's sake, I'm gonna see if somebody answers online. But what are you doing? That's true as well. The sister said, "What time does class start?" Okay, so on Thursday, the classes out here in Vegas, they start at 6:30. If there's a 3-hour time difference between us and North Carolina, it'll be 9:30 your time. But on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, the class starts at 7. So if you're 3 hours ahead, it'd be 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But the classes start at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then 6:30 on Thursdays. Serving the Most High, the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. Yeah, you're right. Everything that y'all saying is correct. Obeying, serving the Lord, everything that y'all saying is right. Oh, you're in Vegas? Oh, Most High in Christ. Okay, yeah, the class starts at 6:30 on Thursdays, but on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they start at 7. So if you want to know any more information, sis, just get in contact with us on ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook or ISUPK Nevada on YouTube. And then my number is 310-346-8206. 310-346-8206. That's my number. You understand? Just give me a call and we'll go from there. All right. So everything that y'all said is correct. All right. But the thing is, when it comes to serving the Lord, when it comes to being in this truth, right? You do have to serve the Lord. You have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. The other thing that you have to do is one word I'm looking for. Who knows it? It's one word I'm looking for. Who knows that word? There's one thing that you have to do in this truth, other than keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. What is it called? Shaquat. That's true, but not what I'm looking for. I know you know. Malawanya, I know you know. I know everybody. I know y'all know. I'm trying to hear it though, man. What do you have to do in this truth? What do you have to do if you're going to serve the Most High? What must you do? Fight is true, but not the word I'm looking for. You are correct, but that's not the word. What must you do if you want to serve the Most High? We already know you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We already know that, so I don't want nobody to type that in. Because that you for sure got to do that. Sacrifice, that's another good word, but not what I'm looking for. Be consistent, not what I'm looking for. Shaquat. Man, endure. That's the word I was looking for. You must endure. Why am I saying that? Because the scripture says, he that endured to the end shall be saved. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what Christ said. You have to endure. Cedric Reynolds, you're right. You do have to kill yourself. You are absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? Have faith. All y'all are correct. The word I'm looking for is endure. Why do you have to endure? Why? Because today you might have an excellent day. Everything might have went perfect. Tomorrow, same thing. Saturday, same thing. And Sunday, everything might just go to shit. Out of nowhere. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And what can you not do in the midst of everything going wrong around you? Not
be quick to do something else.
Right, that's true. But the other thing you cannot do is lose faith, which is doing something dumb. But if you do something dumb and you lose faith and you lose faith, what are you not doing? You see how simple this is? You see how it all just weaves together like that? It's like a puzzle, man. It's like a real simple puzzle with the big pieces, though. Not them 2,500 piece puzzles. This is one of the big puzzles that they give to like 3-year-olds. You get my point? And you just piece it together. You get what I'm saying? You have to endure. You get what I'm saying? Because you're going to have rough days in this truth. You get what I'm saying? There's going to be some days where you had a rough day at the slavery. You're going through it with your wife or you're going through it with your husband. Kids acting out or whatever the case may be. And you're going to want to have a cigarette. You get my point? You're going to want to go to the club. Which there's nothing wrong with going to the club. But you want to go to the club that has all the free drugs. And because they know you from the world, and they know how you used to get down, they're gonna give you all the free drugs you want, and you're gonna want to go there. You get my point? But you have to endure. You get what I'm saying? Hold that real quick. Matter of fact, stay where you are. I'll read it. The precept for Ecclesiasticus 3. I mean, it's like the precept for Ecclesiasticus 2:2 is Ecclesiastes. In the Bible, Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 7, verse 3. I'm going to read it, all right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 3. It says, sorrow is better than laughter. For the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. I'm going to read that one more time. Sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. Meaning what? Through that endurance, you're going to be stronger. You're going to go through some things, but it's going to make you stronger. Especially if you endure. If you're going through some hard times in your life and the temptation comes on you to get high, the temptation comes upon you to go buy a prostitute because your wife don't want to chip you off, whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? Or she's not doing the things that she used to do. So it's like, you know what, fuck it, I can just go get a stripper and she'll do all that for me. That's the temptation. You get what I'm saying? But if you endure those temptations, if you endure those thoughts, you'll come out even stronger. You get what I'm saying? It says, and constantly endure. It says, and make not haste in time of trouble. So in other words, you argue with your husband, you having a hard time with your wife, you understand? Endure that shit. Because nobody ever said that marriage is going to be perfect. Nobody ever said that your marriage, from the time you get married, you understand, it's just everything is going to be perfect. Nah, it's not how it goes. You get what I'm saying? Nobody ever said that the relationship with your kids is going to be always perfect, that they're going to love you all the time. Because there's going to be some times you got to tell them no, and they're going to be pissed. But that's okay, though. You get my point? You endure all that. Why am I using the kids as an example? Because you can be tempted by your kids. Hey, man, listen, man, we don't do the Christmas thing around here no more, man. There ain't no trees, ain't no presents, ain't no none of that. You get my point? Damn, I can't get one present? I can't get one. Damn, Dad, I thought you loved me. And they get to storming off and closing their door and locking the door, all that gay shit that they do. You get my point? And then you, if you weak, damn, man, mad at me, man. I gotta do something to, you know what I'm saying, get back right with my kids. Damn that. You get what I'm saying? You gotta stand with the Lord, man. Because if you stand with the Lord will stand with you. You get my point? Let's get back to Ecclesiastes. Read verse 3 for me, please.
Come. Verse 3.
Wait. Salaki, hold on 1 second. You stay where you are, and I'm gonna pull damn right, sis. I'm on about to say all relationships take work. You're absolutely right. The sister said no pagan holidays, only feast days. You are 1,000% correct on that. Right? Another precept for Ecclesiasticus 2:2 is 2 Ezra 7:57. And I'll pull that right now. All right, let's get that real quick. This 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. It says, then answered he me and said, now, to give y'all a little bit of context, for time's sake, I'm not going to go into it too deep because we're running up against the clock. So for time's sake, I'm just going to give y'all the breakdown, right? A little bit of the context. This is a conversation between Ezra and the angel, right? And Ezra is asking the angel all these goddamn questions, right? So to sum it all up, you understand the angel said this. This is this is 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. I'm going to read it again for those who didn't get it. This is 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. You get what I'm saying? Like fighting and enduring is all throughout this Bible. You get my point? And it's emphasized in this Bible a lot. Why? Because we have to be reminded. Why? Because we hard-headed as hell. You get what I'm saying? So we have to hear the same thing over and over and over a few times until they lock into our thick-ass heads. You get my point? Let's keep reading.
John, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Cleave unto him.
Do what?
Cleave unto him, and depart not away.
Cleave unto who? It's quiet.
The Lord.
That's right. Cleave unto the Most High. Right? Keep reading. Well, read it again from the top.
Cleave unto him,
Uh-huh.
and depart not away.
And depart not away, right? Depart not away from what? All right. Law, statutes, and commandments. Keep reading.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That thou mayest be what?
Mayest be increased at thy last end.
And how do you be increased? What ends up happening when you get increased? What does that do? That makes you what? Think about what we're talking about. We're talking about enduring, we're talking about temptations, and we're talking about fighting. So if you get increased, what are you doing? All right.
Getting stronger.
That's it. It's making you stronger. Not falling to your temptations make you stronger. Oh man, I dealt with that already. That shit ain't nothing now. There's certain things when you first come into the truth. For some people, it's holidays. For some people, when they first come in. For some, it's weed. For some, it's heathens. You get my point? Everybody has that battle that demon that they battle. For me, it was hitting licks. You know what I'm saying? For me, the love of money was the root of all evil. Just to keep it all the way with y'all. Just the thought of kicking in some doors or going through a window, you know what I'm saying? Getting money. You know what I'm saying? I had a slavery and everything, went to work and all that shit. But that wasn't enough. I wanted to floss. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be big owned. You know what I'm saying? To impress a bunch of motherfuckers that didn't give a fuck about me anyway. That's the cold part about it. But that's a whole nother conversation. The bottom line is, right? Everyone has their own demon that they battle. You get what I'm saying? And as you fight and as you endure, you get stronger. You get what I'm saying? So now I can work somewhere and check purses and check wallets and see thousands of dollars and see credit cards and see IDs with their addresses on it, and it don't even bother me. You know what I'm saying? But as a young man or a trooper, I would have to call and get some counsel. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It's too much money in my face. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, we all got our demon that we battle. You get my point? But the thing about it is though, cleaving unto the Most High and departing not from His law, statutes, and commandments makes you stronger. So in the end time, as everything around you start to fall apart, you're strong. So you're prepared for the battle. You're prepared for Pride Month. You're prepared for Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday. You're prepared for probably the biggest 4th of July celebration will probably be right here in Las Vegas, probably. I've never been out here on 4th of July weekend, but I can only imagine what it's like. And I pray I don't have to slay that weekend, which I actually do. So I'm going to get a front row seat to the fuckery. You get my point? But again, Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh for the strength, because I'll be able to endure. You get my point? And because of this brotherhood, if I did have a moment of weakness, I can just pick up the phone and get some counsel. Boom, it's all good. You get what I'm saying? Don't ever underestimate the power of counsel. Under no circumstances. Do not let that demon tell you, oh, I don't want him to know about this. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Oh, I'm ashamed. Oh, he's busy. Fuck that. That's a demon telling you not to get that counsel. You want to know why? Because the demon wants to get stronger. The demon wants to conquer you because the demon wants to see you dead. The demon wants you to sin against the Most High. The demon does not want you in here. You get my point? That's why when you go to the beginning of the chapter, Scripture says, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. It's It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And it's going to get thrown at you in many different directions, in all kind of different ways. You get my point? And so how you fight that is getting counsel. So like I didn't see y'all answer. Y'all right, but stronger. You got that. The increase is talking about being stronger. Y'all, both of y'all correct. Amanda Bob and Chanel Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Get stronger is what you end up doing, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Do what?
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Now, you know when it says whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully, it doesn't mean like celebrate it. It doesn't mean like, you know what I'm saying, you want to throw a party because you're going through a tough time. That's not what it's talking about. What it is telling you, just thug that shit out in nigga terms. Just thug it out, man. Ain't no thing. You get my point? That's something I strongly believe. Ain't no thing. Even when it is a thing, it ain't no thing. You get what I'm saying? Why? Because you're going to go through things while you walk in this walk, man. You get my point? So it says, whatsoever. Somebody give me an example of whatsoever. You can't go wrong with this one. Somebody give me an example of whatsoever. I rock. Yeah, that's one. Somebody give me another one. What's an example of whatsoever is brought upon you? Shaquan. Losing a child. And that's a perfect example that you know that this scripture is not saying, yes, I lost that child, man. Most High in Christ. It's not saying that. It's going to hurt. It's going to sting. It's going to stick with you for a little bit. You know what I mean? But just know that the Most High has something even better in store for you. You know what I'm saying? How do you know? All you got to do is look at Job. Job lost everything. And got it all back and then some. You get my point? That's the example that you want to look at. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
And do what?
And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Why is that so important? First of all, what is the low estate? All right.
Like when you brought down, like, you know, like when the trooper had said, when you lose your child, you go through that phase where it stings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you down and out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You pouting, you know, depressed, whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
you're in a lower state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a state of mentality.
Right.
Like being in hell.
Right. Nah, 100. Right. It says, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Another example could be you had a slavery and you was making $300,000 a year. Because of COVID, you got laid off. You know what I'm saying? And that's more carnal, but the point is, you know what I'm saying, you was able to live comfortably, pay bills on time, was able to tuck a little bit away and all that. You know what I'm saying? And now you lost that income. You get what I'm saying? Which break down to what? About $25,000 a month or something like that? Something along those lines? You get what I'm saying? Something like that. Yeah, my math is kind of right. Something like that. A lot of money. Fuck it. Bottom line is, you go from making that to getting laid off. You know what I'm saying? Be patient when they are changed to a lower state. Meaning what? Don't use that as a reason to go back into the world. Don't use that as an excuse to sin. Don't use that as an excuse to be weak to your temptations. You get my point? Damn, I just lost my slavery. Oh, man. Fuck it, man. As well get high. I ain't got to go to work the next day anyway. Ain't like they gonna drug test me. I ain't got nowhere to go. You get what I'm saying? It says whatsoever. Meaning what? Anything can happen at any moment. You get what I'm saying? My first night on the slavery, just recently, first night on the slavery, right? Car was running just fine all that time. Time to go to slavery, car wouldn't start. I ended up being, 30 minutes late on my first night? You know what I'm saying? Lucky. I ain't saying I was happy about it, but it's like, what can I do? Just dug it out, man. Ain't no thing. I get there. You know what I'm saying? Deal with it, got there, did my thing, it was all good. You know what I'm saying? These are just small examples. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, that was, you know what I'm saying? That's for some people, that right there is an extremely low state. Because some people can't even handle the smallest things. Oh, my car won't start. Oh, fuck this car. Let me set it on fire. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. Oh, my car won't start. Let me go blow some man's rod so I can get it fixed. Because that's what you used to do. Some of you do just do that shit, too. It's a lot. let me not even start that. Listen, Facebook, YouTube, it's a lot. I'm just saying though. I mean, some of y'all listen. I seen y'all at the clubs. I seen y'all. You know what? Just keep reading. Just keep reading.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
For gold is tried in the fire.
Read it again.
For gold is tried in the fire.
Read it again.
For gold is tried in the fire.
Uh-huh.
An acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
In the what?
An acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
In the furnace of adversity. How do you know what you really working with if you ain't been through nothing? What would they call? Man, let me see. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." What would they call you? What would be a worldly term for somebody that's been through some things? This question like kind of leans more towards him because of his background. What would they call you? It's 2 words that I'm looking for.
Someone that's actually been through something?
Yeah. Hey, Most High in Christ says, keep coming to class, man. We'll tighten you up. Ain't no thing. You got my number. Said you hit me up anytime. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you right.
Well, you said 2 words, but
Yeah.
I feel like veteran, but you a vet. Like, and that's not even like in the military.
But if you're a vet, what does that make you? That's true. But if you're a vet and you're a soldier and you done been through some things, what does that make you? Anytime. That's true. If you make it the warrior status, what would they call you? You've been what? That's true as well. Wise man. That's all correct. What would they call you? If you done been through a few wars, what would they say about you? Bring me home. It's somewhere in that ballpark. Bring me home.
I can't.
You're right, but bring me home. She's right there.
Yeah.
Like y'all right there, man. Y'all right on it. Anybody online? What would you call somebody that done been through a few things, and been through a few fights, been through a few been through a few wars, been through some things? And the captain said, I didn't gave y'all the answer. No. Well, in Esau's military, they probably will call you a hero. You know what I'm saying? But not what I'm looking for. If you done been through some things, right? You done had your struggles, you know what I'm saying? You done had, you know what I'm saying, some addiction, you done conquered those, you done went through all those things, you know what I'm saying? What would you be considered? Experience? That's true as well, man. Y'all right there, man. Because you're right, but not the answer I'm looking for. I'm gonna give it to y'all, right? And you probably heard this more than anybody in the class, so I'm gonna give it to y'all. 2 words I was looking for: battle testing.
God damn it. Yeah.
Battle testing. You know what I'm saying? You done been through some things. You battle test. You listen. I damn near said battle. I had to catch myself. So I thought when I said that, I'm like, okay, let me hurry up and change it up before somebody catch on. But that's what it is. So it says, acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? How do you go from a trooper to an officer? All right. You get my point? It's really that simple. How do you go from being a sister who comes into the online class and starts sitting in class to getting her Hebrew name? Get tested, man. It's that simple. You become battle tested. You get my point? You don't get to sit in these seats for months and years at a time without going through some battles. And you get to the point to where you become so strong to where you won't even. You had a mentality, man. That's below my weight class right there. I ain't even sweating that. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, you gotta get your weight. If you want to battle me, man, you gotta get your weight up. I done been through all that already. You get my point? Whether it's kids don't want to fuck with you no more if you don't celebrate holidays, whether it's a woman wanting to leave you because your first wife is the truth. You get what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Or on the other side, you're a woman, you come into the truth, you stop wearing all the slutty clothes and shit like that. You decide that you want to dress like a princess, the daughter of Zion, so you cover your head up. And I don't mean one of them goddamn bonnets, okay? Bonnets are for indoors only. I cannot stress that enough. Do not be in the goddamn casino with no fucking bonnet on, Salaki. I'm just saying. Don't do it, Israel. You devils, y'all do whatever the hell y'all want. Sisters, have some class, man. Have some dignity. Take the goddamn bonnet off, man. Like, seriously. I mean, listen, I can spend the rest of the class going in on that, but I won't. You know what I'm saying? Because I want the class to continue to go live. So we're going to leave it at that. The bottom line is, if you're a sister and you decide that you want to clean yourself up, you no longer want to be a stripper. You understand? You no longer want to be a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? And your man was the one that was pimping you out. Saying, hey, now I'm done with this. I want to serve the Most High. Oh, yeah, hey, I'm on about, don't get me started on them house shoes, okay? I'm trying to be cool, trying not to get kicked off the chat, so I'm going to be cool. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother subject for another day. You get what I'm saying? I'm acting like I didn't see that, because that right, that's a trigger. But I'm going to be cool. I'm not going to speak on the house shoes thing, because it drives me nuts. But again, hey, whatever. The bottom line is, you're a woman, you decide that you want to clean yourself up, and you no longer want to be that worldly woman. You want to be a princess and the daughter of Zion. And your husband used to you being a slut. He knows you're a slut. He just don't care because he makes money off you being a slut. You know what I'm saying? And now you tell him, nah, I don't like men paying me to see my body. Like, I'm only supposed to be showing my body to you. I don't want to live like this no more. Bitch, you ain't shit anyway. I'm gone. Y'all been together 15 years. You get what I'm saying? It's going to hurt. You know what I mean? But it's going to make you stronger, though. Why? Because you standing with the Most High will make you stronger on the strength. And what would happen? He leaves. You get time to clean yourself up. You get what I'm saying? And then the Lord will send you a brother way better than that brother. Because the brother that the Lord will send you will never put you out there on the stroll. You get what I'm saying? He'll never put you on the stripper pole either. You get my point? He won't put his hands on you because he had a bad day at the slave. You get what I'm saying? He won't force you to get high because he getting high, even though he know he ain't supposed to be getting high. You ain't got to worry about none of that. You get my point? That's the thing. So you stand on these laws, statutes, and commandments. You stand on the word of the Lord and let everything else take care of itself. You get what I'm saying? It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Again, you never know what you're working with until you've been through some things. You get what I'm saying? How do you can go to the gym and you can lift weights all day long, but how do you know just how strong you are until you get into a situation where you got to show that strength? You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you want to go around here just throwing your weight around because, you know, so you can pick up a few weights. I'm not saying that. You get my point? But you know what I'm saying? We might be at camp one day, and you might have to defend the camp. You get what I'm saying? And, you know, going through that and being called a nigga, being called a spick and a wetback and all these things will only make you stronger. Because while you stand there and you still blaze on that microphone and you still cutting Christians to piss while they calling you names and throwing water on you and spitting your direction and all that, it's only gonna make you stronger. You know what I'm saying? And why am I using that as an example? Because if it hasn't happened, Lord willing, it never happens. But don't be surprised if it does happen. You get what I'm saying? And the temptation is gonna be, if a nigga spit in my direction, I'm whooping his ass. Nah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't engage unless we're engaged. That's how it goes. We don't start the fight, but we damn sure finish him though. Finish him. On another note, go ahead.
Like, spitting isn't ground for engagement. Because technically, that's biological warfare.
I would love for it to be. Nah, man. Nah, it's not. You know what I'm saying? We got a few more minutes. Let's get a couple more scriptures in.
Con, verse 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee.
Man, read that again.
Believe in him, and he will help thee.
This goes good with verse 3. It says, when it says, cleave unto him and depart not away. Verse 6 says, read it again.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Meaning what? Believe in the Most High. Believe in these words, man. You get what I'm saying? And he will help thee. He will help you fight those demons. He will help you conquer those addictions. It's not going to be an overnight thing, though, y'all. Understand that, Akim and Akwakian, it's not going to be an overnight thing. You understand? But it is something that if you fight hard enough, you understand, and you endure, you understand, you will be able to conquer. You get what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, life is all about one word and one word only: Iraq. That's it. Life is all about warfare. What kind of warfare? Spiritual warfare. That's what it's all about. Because everything that you go through tests your. Everything that you go through tests your spirit. 3 for 3. Test your spirit, man. You get my point? It's spiritual warfare. You get what I'm saying? The 4th of July is spiritual. You understand? June celebrating Juneteenth is or your desire to celebrate Juneteenth is spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Your desire to want to celebrate because these kinds of athletes, you know what I'm saying, have the right to make money off their own name, and you want to celebrate that, you know what I'm saying? That's nothing to celebrate. You get what I'm saying? Going through things is going to make you stronger. Okay, so I'll spend the last few minutes talking about this. We're going to end the class. The sister said, I know we don't get vaccines. What if your job mandates it? What advice do you have? Okay, so there's no scripture against vaccines. Vaccines are not unlawful, okay? In the ISUPK, what we teach is, you understand? Matter of fact, let me get this is an excellent question. Let me get Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 1. We're gonna drop this topic, Lord allow, unless I come up with something else. Lord allow, we'll pick this up next week because this is a really heavy topic, and we'll get into it some more next week, Lord allow. But for time's sake, we're gonna go over this, right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 1. The sister said, I know we don't get vaccines, right? What you have to understand is in the UPK, what we teach is we're not telling nobody that they have to go get the vaccine, right? Because it's no different with medicine, right? You would take the medicine because you're what? You would get the vaccine because you're... You see what I'm saying? Or you are sick. You get what I'm saying? You fight it, you don't want to get it again. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing against it. You get my point? If you look at the statistics of all those who took that vaccine, right? All that shit that all these conspiracy theorists were talking about, the numbers don't back up the shit that they were saying. You get my point? And so now, the first thing you want to do is this. Read it when you got it, please.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 38, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Honor a physician.
Do what?
Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him.
Read it again.
Honor a physician.
Honor a physician.
Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. Honor
a physician with the honor due unto him. Meaning what? He's a doctor. That's what he went to school for. You get my point? And then not only did he go to school for it, but what else? The Most High made doctors. You get my point? Everything is here for a reason. You get what I'm saying? And so you go to your doctor first and foremost. You get what I'm saying? And you want to make sure that whatever's in that vaccine won't cause an allergic reaction. Ain't no problem. Since I'm going to break it down, I'm going to break it down for you right now. We're going to end the class, all right? So the first thing that you want to do, sis, you want to go to the doctor. And you want to let them know what it is that you might be allergic to. You understand? And if there's anything in that vaccine that you are allergic to, you want to let that doctor know, ask that doctor to give you a note. You take that note to your slavery. You get my point? Now, if they know of another vaccine other than that one, then you can go back to the doctor and say, hey, what's in this one? I need this for my job or my slavery. And this right here is a perfect example as to why we call them slaveries. Because of stuff like this. You get my point? So now if they tell you about another one and you go to the doctor, hey, listen, what do you know about this vaccine? What's in this vaccine? Oh, I'm allergic to that. You get my point? you get that in writing from your physician or your doctor. You get what I'm saying? And you take that to your slavery. Now, those things that are in that vaccine that you might be allergic to could possibly kill you. You get what I'm saying? You take those notes to that doctor. You get what I mean, to your slavery. And if your slavery doesn't want to honor your doctor's note, then you got action at all kind of shit then. You get my point? But if anything like that does happen, you know what I'm saying, you give us a call. You know what I mean? I already gave you my number. We'll take it from there, all right? But what you want to do is, though, if there's nothing in that vaccine that you're allergic to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and take it. There's plenty of brothers in this school that have taken this vaccine, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. You know what I mean? There's many brothers in this school that have not only taken one vaccine, they've gotten a second vaccine, and there's nothing wrong with them. You get my point? Stand on the Most High and trust in the Most High. You get what I'm saying? Worry about that. Let that be your main part. If you're serving the Lord, you get what I'm saying? He'll protect you. What scripture was that we were reading in Ecclesiastes? Let me get that real quick again. No. That was 2 and it's the one, okay. 2 and 3. Read 2 and 3 again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 3.
Shoot it.
Cleave unto him.
Do what?
Cleave unto him.
Do what?
Cleave unto him. And depart not away. That thou mayest be increased at thy last end. That thou may be as increased in thy last end. All right. It says if you have any other questions, you know what I'm saying, about anything, shoot me a text, give us a call, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And we'll look out for you. You know what I'm saying? But for time's sake, due to my slavery, you get my point. We're gonna end the class. All right. Remember, ISUPK Las Vegas classes Tuesday and Wednesday are from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. You understand? On YouTube, you can find us on ISUPK Nevada. On Facebook, you understand? You can find us at ISUPK Las Vegas. And with that, pass the class to Priest and Officer Rock.
Okay. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment which can be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and also the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asherah, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, it is a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory, and it can be whatsoever amount that you would like. Our next upcoming holy convocation will be the memorial of blowing of the trumpets. I don't have
check the board.
So like just check the board at your respective school to find out any information that you can for celebrating that. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel, Majim, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majim, Shabbat, Majim, Rock, Yahweh, Shim, Yahshua, Barak, Men of Israel, Sar, which means turn towards the sisters. So Majim, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Majim, Shabbat, Majim,